Hello! Now it is time to discuss the finale of WandaVision. I know, it's kind of almost too late. Falcon and Winter Soldier starts on Friday, so it's been like almost 2 weeks. But I work, okay? I've been trying really hard to get videos done every few days, but then I have to try to edit them, and that takes time too. And I get home late at night, so I don't really feel like editing. I feel like watching TV and doing nothing. But anyway, here we go. We're going to discuss the finale, which is literally called the finale. I know there have been rumors of a second season. I know Marvel has not entirely shot them down. I think a lot of it's going to depend what happens in Doctor Strange 2. But we'll wait and see, I guess. You know how Marvel and Disney are. Anything to get that money. Obviously. Because, as we know, WandaVision kind of spins off into Doctor Strange 2. And in many ways, a lot of the storylines were wrapped up. But not everything was. And I do think they did that on purpose. I think I don't think you have to have watched WandaVision first to understand Doctor Strange 2. I think it's going to make a lot more sense if you did. And of course, to do that, you have to have Disney Plus, which I do feel they did on purpose. I know a lot of people told me, oh, Disney wouldn't do that. Of course they would. They want money. But, that's just my opinion. And I really don't like being shot down for having an opinion. I think you can have your opinion on WandaVision. I can have mine, and we can still be friends. But, that's just me. And obviously, some of the loose ends, such as the end scenes, those obviously will lead into their respective movies. The one with Monica, Captain Marvel 2. The one with Wanda in the cabin in the woods, Doctor Strange 2. Which leads us into the discussion of the Darkhold. Now, I know, I'm harping on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. But come on now. There were an awful lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Easter eggs in WandaVision. And I know Marvel's like, oh no, our writers have never seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is bull. I mean, come on, you got all these people claiming, well, why are you doing this if it doesn't... I know they are like, oh, it's not canon. It can be canon. Why can't it be? You got time travel, you got parallel universes, you got alternate universes, you've got, different time streams, you've got all these things. Anything can be considered canon. Alright? Yeah. We're going to consider Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon, which brings us into something else. The Darkhold, which, at the end of WandaVision, Wanda has. And now it is a different cover than has been shown previously in the Marvel Universe, in which case I am counting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You do what you want to do. But anyway, it is a different cover, which I know a lot of people go, oh, see, that means it's not canon. I'm like, that means nothing. I mean, come on. It's a magical book. It can change covers. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it actually changed pages depending upon who was reading it, which I really want to know then, does that mean in any way, is the same book that Wanda is reading at the end, does that still count for what Agatha was reading? I don't know. We don't know. I know it's also rumored that the Darkhold is the missing book from Doctor Strange's library, which I have to admit, I haven't seen Doctor Strange that many times. It's not my favorite Marvel movie. I do recall there being something about there being a missing book in the library, but honestly, I don't know that much about it. I did rewatch it the other night, but again, not my favorite movie, so I don't pay as much attention to it as I could. But, I wanted to rewatch it because of WandaVision. But, again, I just can't get into Doctor Strange as much as I can some of the others. But, my opinion. When, of course, Captain Marvel 2, Monica Rambeau will be appearing there. But my favorite part of the show, I know I'm kind of just skipping to the end because those are my favorite parts. But, her new costume. And I was reading that Elizabeth Olsen had a lot to do with that new costume. Obviously, Andy Park is the guy who sketches all the costumes, and this new one is actually quite interesting in that it's similar to the one he initially designed for Age of Ultron. but they didn't use it for Age of Ultron, but did keep the sketches, thinking maybe later on they would use a design. And they did. Now, when they first designed it, Elizabeth Olsen got to have some input, in which, for one thing, she has always had a lot of trouble with the fact she's the only female superhero that shows a lot of cleavage. And she's right. Why does this female superhero have to do that to be powerful? You don't see Black Widow doing that. You don't see Valkyrie doing that. You don't see Gamora doing that. So why did Scarlet Witch? Especially since, mechanically, until they decided to retcon it, and I'm ignoring that, she was also the youngest. So why? You would especially think of someone who's supposed to be in her late teens, early 20s, they would not want to sexualize such a young person. But, you know, money. And whether we like it or not, that is something that sells. But I really appreciate how she now has a higher neckline, especially as a Scarlet Witch cosplayer. I especially really like how it's not a heavy jacket anymore. And if you have followed me on Instagram, you'll see I did get the cape already from Hot Topic. Very exciting. And I also did an unboxing of that on here as well. I really like that cape. I like the new costume. I like how Elizabeth Olsen made a point of not just no more cleavage, but making sure it's a practical costume, because I know that's an issue with a lot of costumes. They look super cool, but they are not very practical to move around in. And Elizabeth Olsen has a dance background, so she actually understands, you know, movement, whereas some of the actresses, they don't have the same background, and while they're really good at what they do, they're not really the same. And I think that's makes it a lot easier knowing that we're supposed to be able to move in this costume. It does look a lot more comfortable than previous iterations, but I know I can never say anything right. I read things, but I can't pronounce them. But, you know, it's pretty basic. It's not that different than her initial one with leggings and a corset, but I think it's going to be easier in the long run, both for Elizabeth Olsen and for cosplayers. I intend to try to make the new headpiece. I will be doing a DIY video about that. I'm not sure when, just whenever I can get to Joann's. And if y'all have any tips on that, let me know, because I've never attempted something like that. Now, we also have the mysterious cameo that Paul Bettany was hinting toward. That came to nothing. He was actually hinting about himself. He would be acting against himself, Vision, and the White Vision. Which, if you notice though, White Vision flew off. And the original Vision, or at least the one that Wanda had manifested, never told her about where he went or what happened. I don't think we've seen the last of White Vision. I think it's going to be interesting to see what might happen there. Because White Vision now has the original Vision's memories. He is Vision in many ways. But he gone. What's going to happen? We don't know. Will he make an appearance in Doctor Strange 2? We don't know. We don't really know anything about Doctor Strange 2. They don't tell us anything. I do feel it might be that we might see him there. We can tell by the end of WandaVision, with Wanda having the Darkhold, I think she's trying to find a way to bring back her kids. Which, I don't know. I mean, they exist in the Marvel comic lore. And obviously they now exist in the MCU. But do they really exist? And of course, in the Marvel comics, they did not exist at first. They were literally manifestations of her mind. And then when they got destroyed, because they did not really exist, she went into deep denial and basically destroyed everything. Much like Wanda. And that's another thing. I know a lot of people think Wanda's going to be the next big bad. And I don't think that's impossible. But I think it's also important to remember the Wanda in the MCU has never used her powers for bad. She's never been evil. Even when she was teamed up with Ultron, she's genuinely believed that she was doing the right thing. That's why she and her brother went and joined up with Strucker in the first place, because they genuinely believed that was the right thing to do. And I think that nothing she's ever done has been for evil. And once you realize that Ultron was bad, that Strucker was bad, once Captain America showed her that in Age of Ultron, she did turn to the light side, so to speak. It's part of the Star Wars pun. She did turn and helped the Avengers. And I think people need to remember that everything she has ever done has not been out of malice. She didn't create Westview to hurt anybody. She didn't even realize she had done it until she did it. And then it was too late. And frankly, she wanted to keep what she had. And we can't really blame her on that, except we can. That was bad. But she didn't mean it to be. So it might be that she ends up the next big bad. I hope if they do have her go crazy, like in House of M, they do redeem her. I don't think that's impossible. I think going forward, as powerful as she is, they're going to probably want to keep her, especially in the next few phases, at least for a while, I hope. We know what is set out for phase 4. I don't see that she's really going to be in much else beyond Doctor Strange 2, but you never know. It's Marvel. They change their minds all the time. And we've been waiting an awfully long time for anything Marvel, so, you know. So let's hope, right? And I like Monica said, the townspeople might forgive her. They know why. And I think Wanda's right in that they probably wouldn't. But you also can understand what Monica also said, where she said if she had had that kind of power to bring back her mother, she'd probably do it too. And I think that's a very powerful thing, because how do you pick one person and say, yes, we're going to bring you back, but at the cost of all these others? Is that really right or fair? And I think that's what the people of Westview are saying. You know, that's not fair to us. I mean, you held us captive, basically. But, you know, okay, I ran out of notes. So now I'm just going to start rambling. That's another thing. Westview. In the very, very beginning of WandaVision, when Monica and Jimmy go out to Westview, the cops tell them it's called Eastview and Westview doesn't exist. That was never revisited. And I'd kind of like to know what happened there. And, yeah. But, alright. Oh, and there was a scene. I know a lot of people have complained that Darcy and Jimmy and even the twins didn't really have a lot to do in the finale. And apparently there was a big scene they filmed with the rabbit that actually was done in Agatha's basement that was going to be rather important to the storyline, but it ended up being cut because even though it was filmed, they did not have time for the special effects team. The entirety of the WandaVision finale was done just like in a matter of days before it aired, which I don't really understand because they started filming like well over a year ago, and I know they stopped things for COVID, but still, you had like well over a year, people. I mean, people have been going back to work for a long time now. So, I don't understand that. But, okay. I'm hoping at some point they put some of the deleted scenes up on Disney+. I kind of hope they put WandaVision out on DVD or Blu-ray, because I'm a sucker for collecting things. I would really like to add WandaVision to my collection of Marvel, and I wouldn't necessarily want to always keep Disney Plus just for that. So I think there might be some money in that, Disney. I know Mandalorian never made it onto Blu-ray, at least not yet, but I don't really watch Mandalorian, so yeah, it's not my thing. But if you would like to see the unboxing of the WandaVision cape, it's on my YouTube channel. I believe it's a video right before this one. And you can check out more videos and on my channel as well. There's unboxings, there's reviews, There's me just rambling about whatever I feel like talking about. If you got something you'd like me to unbox or review, talk about, let me know. And I will see you guys next time. And I hope to do a WandaVision video about the series as a whole, whenever I get a 4-hour block of time to watch it all. But we'll see. We will see. And I will be trying to do, again, the weekly videos for the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. Or is it the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I always get it mixed up. Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. And I do weekly videos for The Walking Dead as well, which I'm going to try to film another one today for that. Alright, so let me know. What were your thoughts about the WandaVision finale? What do you hope to see in Doctor Strange 2? And do you think Scarlet Witch is going to be the next big bad? Alright, have a good day. Be nice to customer service personnel, please.